First of all, guys, amazing job on the show. I'm a longtime Chucky fan, and this show lives right up to all the other iterations, and even more so because I think we're going to get to dive in and explore more because we have more time to do it. But the first question I have for you guys, just for everybody that's kind of new to the series, can you guys talk to me a little bit about who your characters are? And we'll start with you, Alyvia.
Okay. Lexy Cross is your classic mean girl. She is very self-centered, very narcissistic, very power hungry. She is very fashion forward, the princess of her school. And as the series develops, we kind of get to see her background, where she grew up, and how she always has not had the best childhood, has not had a very stable relationship with her family and her mom specifically. Her mom's the mayor. So she's always felt like she has to be perfect and on her best behavior at all times. And her mom's kind of always ruled her house. So she's kind of always felt like she needs to have the power of ruling her school. And yeah, even though people are kind of scared of her, she loves the power, but we get to see, maybe her become a little more humanized and maybe see that she actually has a little heart of gold.
I love that. Now, Bjorgvin, tell me a little bit about Devon and the Hack and Slash podcast.
Okay. I think, Devon, he's kind of this like fun, charismatic guy. He's kind of like the guy in school who makes friends with everyone, the nerds, the jocks, he's kind of like an everyman man. I don't know if that makes sense in my brain. And I think his podcast is kind of something that's like, you wouldn't really expect him to have, I think, but it makes him more interesting. He has a true crime podcast. He, has a following behind that. And he kind of uses that to kind of like, maybe even follow in his mom's footsteps. And I think, I think when the show starts, he's getting curious about Jake and kind of, trying to see what's bothering him and trying to maybe have some podcast content. But then, as the show develops and, as the story moves forward, he kind of gets involved in Zach's whole Chucky business. And then, maybe they might, something. I'm still even at.
One thing I absolutely love about this show is that we dive into like real issues on this show. And it's something you wouldn't expect from Chucky. When you guys first read the script, what themes kind of jumped out at you? And we'll start with you this time, Bjorgvin.
I guess a big one is kind of the whole LGBT kind of aspect, the whole relationship between Jake and Devon. And I think that it's kind of and it's funny because after watching all the movies, after booking it, I kind of saw like aspects of like him doing civic things, like in a thing in Curse of Chucky, he had that whole like whole like gay kind of cheating thing that we thought wasn't that
right
interesting. And I kind of like was like, okay, I kind of see, I kind of get it. And like Don kind of like he wants to make these entertaining movies, but also have something in the background that kind of is like telling something about that's actually real. And he's kind of like trying to show that while trying to scare you or entertain you. And I think it's kind of brilliant in a sense to kind of do that.
Couldn't agree more. Alyvia, how about you?
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Don's writing is how he can incorporate every single genre and every single message into one in the movies into a 2 hour movie, but then also, and now we have so much more time to explore it.
Right.
An 8-hour series. But yeah, I love how he touches on real issues and bullying and LGBTQ, and just every single issue that kids our age are dealing with in real life. And while they're watching this really entertaining, fun show, like Bjorgvin said, they can also, feel comfort in these characters and really understand them and, relate to them. They're really, really relatable characters. So I really hope that people walk away from this series feeling a little bit more heard.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Now, one thing that Don Mancini's done great at is kind of reinventing Chucky for the generation that's watching it. Can you guys talk to me, and you guys touched on it a little bit, but can you guys talk to me about the collaboration process working with Don and kind of like what he brings to the table on his foresight for Chucky? And we'll start with you, Alyvia.
Yeah. So working with Don has been so great because he incorporates his cast in everything. His cast is his number one priority. We do like weekly Zooms throughout filming. He just come and check in on us and make sure everything's good and see if there's anything we want to talk about. He's truly the best showrunner. So yeah, he was very collaborative with letting us decide a lot of things for our characters and helping us develop our characters with him and kind of be the keepers of our characters.
Right.
what's going on with them and what's going on in their head. And that was really refreshing because that doesn't happen all the time. And he's just been so great, and I hope we get to go back and do it again.
Oh, me too. Bjorgvin, can you talk to me about the collaboration process working with Don?
I think it's, kind of similar what Ali said, but I think it's kind of cool because, he takes his cast, he wants to work with them. He wants to kind of like make something that they're also proud of as well. And I think it's kind of, these buzzwords I'm missing. I can't find these words specifically, but I think it's, it was great working with him because I was able to, kind of make my character kind of there with Don.
Right.
Kind of, like, I can't find the word again, but kind of like
that's a true collaboration. I mean, really fleshing out the character with Don, which is kind of lead me to my next question. Now that you guys had a chance to really sit down with Don and flush these characters out with some of your own ideas, what did you guys want to bring to your roles that maybe wasn't on the page, particularly on the page?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that I love about it being such a collaborative process is that you get to bring, even elements of your own life into it and your own personality. And I think that with that, I think that with Lexy, I just really wanted to make sure that she knew exactly what she wanted at all times. And I think that when the chaos breaks out, she kind of starts to lose power. And that was really important for me to see that switch.
Right.
Switch from going from only caring about herself to actually being scared and terrified about every single person in her life, and actually realizing that she actually cares about people, not just herself. So I wanted to make that switch very clear.
Right. And Devon, what did you want to bring to, Bjorgvin, what did you want to bring to Devon that wasn't necessarily on the page?
I think because near the end of shooting, Don told me that he should have made my character like have more funny moments and stuff after getting to know me. And then I think it was kind of interesting because he had an idea where he was like, maybe if you did stand up, that would have been something interesting. Instead of doing podcasts, he did stand up, and I was like, that's interesting. But I think I tried to put myself in. I think it's just kind of weird. So I think near the end, it's like, I was doing little bits of things that were kind of little bites and little things. And Don was like, let's use that. Let's do that. And I was like, okay, all right. And it was kind of I was getting more kind of into it. And I was kind of, throwing out ideas, being like, how about I try this? And I think it was kind of, and I think I kind of want to see my character, maybe be more of a character. I don't know. It's just kind of, I'm kind of vague. I don't know.
When you're starting out a series, you kind of don't really understand, know what you're getting into. You have to really get your character's shoes. But after, a 6-month period of doing this every single day, you really understand your character. And that's why it's so great going back for season 2, because you're jumping into it and you know exactly who this person is and exactly what they're doing. And now you can just have fun with it.
Like you're saying, an ownership of your character, right? Really.
By episode 8, you kind of get that too. So, it was really great.
It's amazing. Now I have to ask this because, look, Chucky, usually when I think of Chucky, I automatically think practical. And to tell you the truth, there were times where I was like, how are they getting this doll to move the way that it does? It almost looked like a little baby hand sometimes. I was like, what is going on? So can you guys talk to me about the practical effects that Don wanted to use to stay true to the Chucky character?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess, I guess for scenes where Chucky's full body is in the background and stuff, we had this, what was his name again?
Oh yeah, Hillbilly Chucky.
No, the little kid, what was his name again? He was a sweetheart. Jacob, yes. He was he was the little Chucky stand-in. He was a sweetheart. And it was always fun, doing scenes with him. And I had to do one scene where I had to stab him with a taser. So I felt a little bit bad because I hit it a little bit too hard on every take. But I think, he was a trooper. He worked hard, and I think it was kind of cool being able to do that, working with a real person for shots that a doll might not be able to do.
Sure.
I think instead of doing CGI, then use a person to kind of get that effect still.
I love it.
To clarify, Hillbilly Chucky is Chucky's stand-in when real Chucky can't be there.
Yeah.
Well, why Hillbilly Chucky? Why is he called Hillbilly Chucky?
I don't know. It was written on his overalls.
Yeah.
His hair was really messed up.
I love that. Now, look, Chucky is obviously an iconic horror character, a legacy, really a horror character. What should longtime Chucky fans, what should they be excited about for the series? Alyvia?
Oh yeah, I think that my favorite part about this series is that there's something for everybody. And I think that diehard Chucky fans are going to be so excited to see how true Don has stayed to like the original franchise and all of the little Easter eggs in there for them to find. But I also love that people who have never seen any of the movies can jump right in and start watching the show and really understand everything that's going on. So both groups of people will absolutely love the series, and I love that there's that much depth.
Yeah, and I guess to add to that, like how Don is he's bringing back people who are like in the originals, and it's kind of like the fans will see that and be like, oh my god, yes, they're coming back, and like they get into it and they're like, yes, what's gonna happen with these characters that we've loved for so long, finally getting like expanded after a long wait.
I mean, honestly, that's a huge reason why I'm so invested into this series, because it is a real continuation. But like you were saying, Alyvia, you don't have to watch anything that came before it to understand the show, which I think this show does a tremendous job at. And look, you guys are brilliant in the show. I can't wait to see how this all wraps up, and I can't wait for season 2. But thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Take care, guys. Pleasure.